Today, in the woke world of reverse racism doesn't exist, Minneapolis Public Schools have reached a contract agreement with their local teachers union. And that contract just so happens to require that, in the event of layoffs or downsizing, all the white teachers get fired first. It's their version of paying their fair share. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. As per usual, Liberty Baby is in the back, this time thanking her lucky stars that she will be homeschooled. Before I get into the details of this story, which made me do a double take and say no way is this real, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Acre Gold, and their gold subscription service. Starting as low as $50 a month, it makes precious metal savings available to everyone. The monthly fee goes into your gold stash, and once the stash reaches the price of their gold bars, you get that gold bar shipped right to your door, quiet and discreet. To get started and hedge against inflation, use my link in the description. In this day and age of woke Olympics, it sometimes seems like a race to the bottom of who can self-flagellate the most, and this story is no exception. The contract in question is between the Minneapolis Public Schools, or MPS, and the Minneapolis Federation of Teachers. The contract, which goes into effect this coming school year, was drawn up on March 25th to end a 3-week teachers' strike. Normally, teachers get let go based on seniority, but in the name of progress, this contract bases it on skin color.
That's racist!
It literally stipulates that in downsizing and layoffs, white teachers be fired first, and that schools that are primarily staffed by minority populations be protected from layoffs and downsizing completely. With that in mind, I'd like to bring your attention to this photo of the teachers who were on strike. These people literally drew up and signed a contract to fire themselves.
Awkward.
Check it out. Starting with the spring 2023 budget tie-out cycle, if accessing a teacher who is a member of a population underrepresented among licensed teachers in the site, the district shall access the next least senior teacher who is not a member of an underrepresented population. The agreement adds that non-white teachers, as well as those working in various programs, may be exempted from district-wide layoffs outside seniority order. When positions open back up, the agreement also prioritizes the reinstatement of teachers from underrepresented populations over white teachers. In addition, teachers at 15, quote, racially isolated schools with the greatest concentration of poverty will also be protected from layoffs.
Can they do that?
If they get the votes.
The justification for the agreement is basically some form of reparations, to remedy the continuing effects of past discrimination by the district. So racism now to fix racism in the past.
They've done studies, 60% of the time it works every time.
Past discrimination by the district disproportionately impacted the hiring of underrepresented teachers in the district as compared to the relevant labor market and the community, and resulted in a lack of diversity of teachers. According to the Star Tribune, this is the first contract to overtly decide who's hired and who's fired based on race. The race-based firing ladder is also only one of the so-called anti-racism and anti-bias provisions. The district's HR director said that she thinks the new contract will also boost recruitment when, in reality, it sounds like an HR nightmare. And according to some legal critics, violates anti-discrimination laws. You don't say! Hans Bader, a constitutional lawyer, says the contract is downright unconstitutional. When it comes to termination, an employer can't racially discriminate even against whites. The Third Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in 1996, Taxman v. Board of Education Piscataway, that a school district can't consider race even as a tiebreaker in deciding who to lay off, even to promote diversity, because that A, unduly trammels the white teacher's rights, and B, putting that aside, the school district couldn't consider race to promote diversity when black people weren't seriously underrepresented in its workforce as a whole. But being that these folks not only agreed to it but asked for it, I doubt any of them will be challenging it in court. Taxpayers, however, might have recourse, and the Upper Midwest Law Center is asking for anyone unhappy with the contract to contact them. The teachers union, meanwhile, says that they're hoping their contract gets picked up as the national model. What happens if one of these person of color teachers is a genuinely bad teacher? This contract makes them virtually unfireable unless the school happens to be all out of white people. And all these white people gleefully signing on to this. Do any of them have families? Because if they do, then it isn't really about them. They have mouths to feed. Are the woke points they're scoring really more important than feeding their children or keeping a roof over their heads? Because at that point, it's certainly not virtuous. It's flat out selfish. Choosing social justice over caring for your family doesn't make you a martyr. It makes you a bad caretaker. Sorry, but my kid is more important than anyone or anything in this world, and no amount of CNN is going to change that. Just another reason to exit the public school system. That is it for today's video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment. You know the drill, the algorithm things. Don't forget to visit today's sponsor or check out the other support options listed down in the description. And as always, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one.